Hi everybody, today we're going to do a few interesting questions regarding financial maths. We'll start with the first question. We have an investor who makes monthly payments of €1,000. He does it at a rate of 3% AER. His first installment is now. He wants to save more than €100,000 and his last payment is on the day of the investment when the investment matures. The question is, how many payments must he make? Okay, so in this question, they're asking us about savings. So we're going to use the formula for savings, which is the final value of a saving is always the present value, 1 plus the interest times t. T is how many times it's in, how many periods it's getting the interest. In order to use this formula, first of all, we know that this guy is making monthly investments. So we need to change the AER, the annual equivalent rate, which is the annual one, into monthly. So we'll do that first. So 1 plus 0.03, which is the 3%, if it's invested for 1 year, needs to be the same like if he invests with a different interest, which we were looking for 12 months, because this is monthly, so 12 months. We rearrange, so it's root 12 of 1.03, and then we take 1 to get the I itself for the rearranging. Calculate this in the calculator, and let's say in this question they wanted 3 significant figures. Let's say this is what rounding. So when you put it in the calculator, you get 0.002466, and they say 3 significant figures. So you look at the 3 digits, the first digit that's after the 0, and you round to that. So our I is going to be, final answer for our rounding, 0.0247. This is the I that we'll be carrying with us. That's the interest for the month. Okay, so now let's look at the stream of investments. He's investing today. That's when he's starting. So for the first investment, €1,000. For that, he will get 1 plus this interest rate, 0.00247. And he will get it K times, let's say, because they're asking us how many months. We don't know how many months, so let's call our months K. So K is how many months. Okay, and okay, for the second month, he's going to invest again €1,000, but this time he's not getting the first month because he didn't put the money in, so he's only going to get it for the second month onwards. So his amount of time that he's in the investment is just K minus 1 times, and so forth, until the last 1 month before the last payment, he still gets interest. And then in the last month, they say he's going to pay, the last payment is on the day of when it matures. So that means he actually puts it into the investment and gets no interest for it. Okay, so for this, he's not getting any interest. He just puts it in, and then he collects all his money and goes home. The question is, how many months does he need to do this in order to save more than 100,000? Now we're going to solve for 1,000 equal to 100,000, and then we will round up to up. That means up, like increase the months. So he'll invest over 100,000. So let's see how we do this. This is a sequence, a geometric sequence. So I know I need to use the formula from geometric sequence. Sn equals first term, 1 minus the ratio to the power of n. N is how many periods this sequence has. That's the n there. And over 1 minus r. So we're going to use this formula for calculating the stream of these investments. My first term, you can call the top one first term, or you can call the bottom one first term. I always go with the bottom one, with the one that doesn't have attachments or the power is 1. So if I mark this as my A, the first term, so the ratio, I can see that from term to term, I'm multiplying actually by the bracket. So this is my ratio. And then the terms, I'm counting, I see here I have 1, 2, 3, 4 till K, but I also have the first guy here that has no bracket attached to him. So actually we have n is K plus 1. We have K plus 1 terms because we're putting money in the end and just collecting all our money. So for that, we don't get our interest. So let's sub it all into the formula. So it says A. So in our case, our A is 1,000. Multiplied by 1 minus the ratio. In our case, the ratio is the bracket. I'm just going to write 1.00247. I'm adding the 2 numbers so it'll be nicer in the bracket. That's to the power of n, and we said we have K plus 1 times terms all over 1 minus the ratio. And this has to be equal, actually bigger, but we'll just write equal so it'll be easier for our calculation, to 100,000. So we can divide both sides by 1,000. That'll eliminate this. Now we can calculate the bottom here and multiply both sides by that number. So on the left hand side we still are left with this, the top, the denominator, and on the right hand side we have 100 times the difference. This is our number. Now we're going to rearrange. So I'm going to bring this guy to the left. I'm adding 0.247 to both sides. So I get 1.247 on the left. And on the right hand side, I'm adding 1.02. So I'll get 1.00247 to the power of k plus 1. I'm reminding you, for solving this is indices. So to solve indices, we have to use our logs. Remember the bottom part, this one is our a, that's the base of the log. This is the answer, this is the x of the log, and this is the y. That's what we put in the log. In other words, we're getting log base a, sorry, that's 247 of 1.247. That has to be equal to k plus 1. So we put this in the calculator, and if I'm not mistaken, the calculator says that 89.38 that's equals to k plus 1. So we take 1 from both sides to get the k, because k is how many terms, how many months we want to save. So I'll take k away, and sorry, I'll take 1 away, so I get 88.38. That's k. And then remember they said how many months we want to have it more than 100,000. So we add 1 to this number and we will get 89. Not 1, we'll round it up, so we get 89, k equals 89. Now I go back to my question and I remember that actually I marked the amount of time periods that I want to invest. How many investments do I need to make? K plus 1. So actually I'm going to have 90 investments, like investments of €1,000, and that will take me altogether 89 months, because I'm putting one at the beginning of the month and one at the end of the month. So we can look at it as 89 months inclusive or 90 months, depends how you want to look at it. But altogether we have 90 investments because it's k plus 1. And that's the end of that question. Thank you very much.